Urban Pulse with Fahmi on TFM 95.4.
Hello and welcome to the show. I have a very important guest. Who is he? We'll get into it in a second. But he is a great grandson to a very legendary connection here in Oman. We all know about the Arabian Princess, Her Highness Salma Al-Busaidi, who left Zanzibar to go to Germany to marry a German and have her life over there. We all know she's a daughter of a Sultan, and she's also sister of 6 Sultans, which is fantastically magnificent. The Sultans are, some of them I'll mention are Thuwaini, who ruled Oman, Barghash and Majid, who ruled Zanzibar, and Turkey. These are big names that we know here in Oman who are connected to Princess Salma Al-Busaidi. So what is this gentleman to her? I'd like you to welcome yourself to the show.
Well, thank you very much. My full name is Micheal William Werner Sayyid Ruete Bauer, and I'm the great-great-grandson of Princess Salma.
Wow. So you have a long name. What do you call yourself right now?
Micheal William, usually William Bauer.
Yeah.
My mother's last name is Bauer, but most of the time I go by Micheal Sayyid Ruete Bauer.
Okay, how does this Sayyid Ruete come into the picture?
I've always had a heart connection with the people of Oman, and I've always wanted to keep the Sayyid Ruete name after Princess Salma.
Yeah.
So it's always been in our family, and so I've kept it myself. So it's part of my legal name.
Okay, let me just get a little clarity. We call her Salma, you call her Salme. Is there a difference?
No, I've always been told the pronunciation is Salma.
Okay.
So that is what,
and that's how
we've always been passed down through the family, yes.
All right, so let's get straight into the meat. In the book I read, the ladies who were not obliged to work took seats at their windows to watch the passing in the streets below and to catch such private glances as might occasionally be thrown up at them. This is in Zanzibar. This provided great amusement. Only sometimes a cautious mother or aunt would contrive to coax one away from the coign of vantage. 2 or 3 hours thus sped quickly by. So that's what they would do on the windows. In one of those occasions,
that's true,
she met her future husband.
Yes, that's true.
Would you like to say the story?
Yes, well, as the book says, she would sit and watch Heinrich, who would be her future husband, from the window of the palace, and he would have a villa, and there would always be people out on the deck of the villa, and she would just watch him from afar, not knowing that would be her future husband someday.
So how did they communicate and connect?
That I don't know.
Okay.
It's never been passed down through the family.
All right, that would be a great story that we should hopefully be passed down. Do you know of the reaction of the family in Zanzibar to what she has done?
Well, I know that once she eloped, that they disconnected her from the family and didn't want anything to do with her at that point, because I guess at that time she was very young. She was 16 to 17.
Yes.
And it was a disgrace to the family for her to run off with a foreigner and not someone from Zanzibar. And so they distanced themselves from her.
Okay, so in Germany now, and she's married to a German man married to an Arabian woman. How did it look like in that society?
Well, they accepted her in Germany. She did have a couple children, and I know that the German government, after her even children were growing up, that they treated her very well. The royal family in Germany even accepted her as then to be part of Germany, because at that point she even decided to become a Christian, and Christianity was part of her, I guess, new lifestyle in Germany. So what she did is she took the name Emily, because Emily at that point was the name of the embassy in Zanzibar. It was the ambassador's the ambassador's wife's name in Zanzibar, and she was the one that actually helped her to elope off of Zanzibar into Germany. So she took the name Emily as her name.
Okay, do you know about that period and how Germany was powerful at that time, so that we can explain it more to the people?
Not a whole lot. I don't know a lot of the history from that.
All right. How I heard that she eloped to Yemen, and then from Yemen she went over. Do you know that route?
I think it was Jeddah.
Jeddah?
I believe so. There was part in the original book about her traveling to Jeddah before going to Germany.
Okay, I'm just trying to understand. Jannah or Aden in Yemen? Is it because Aden is the name of heaven, which is Jannah? So I'm just trying to understand if we're on the same page.
I'm
over
not
here.
sure.
Okay.
The original book that I have is written in the 1886, I believe.
Okay.
And a lot of it was changed when newer versions came out. So
Changed by who?
I believe it was her son Rudolph.
Okay.
After Princess Salma printed her original book that came out in 1886 was one that she did, which was originally printed in 1888.
Okay.
And then it's been changed a few times since.
Since we got to Princess Salma and Rudolph on the book, what made her write the book?
What I know is that she wanted to tell her story and her life of growing up in Zanzibar and what's it like growing up as a Arabian princess in another country. And she was also one of the first royal autobiographers to write about herself and her life.
Absolutely. Could you elaborate more on her children and how you connect to them? Because you said you're her great-great-grandson. So let's elaborate on the lineage.
I know that she had one son that actually passed away en route. Don't know what the name was. I believe it was Sayyid.
Wow. En route from when she was going to Germany.
Yes,
the first,
on the boat.
The first
she
son
actually had a
unfortunately
child pass away that many people don't know about.
It's a great story. Okay.
But since then, she also had a son, Rudolph, who is my great-great-grandfather, and a couple of daughters also that were born in Germany.
Were there any connections with Rudolph and the Omani royalty?
Yes, there was. I know that Princess Salma was asked by her brother Bargash to come back at one point to Zanzibar, and she brought her son Rudolph back with her, and they did meet back in Zanzibar.
That is a story that I didn't even know about. It's fantastic to hear. How does Bismarck connect to this time and to the Omani royalty? Because I heard she was in the middle of a tug of a war, or they would like to utilize her to be able to open up a relationship with Zanzibar. What is the story there?
The only thing I know is that they used Bismarck as Bismarck wanted to use her, since she was a princess, as a mediator between the two countries, and tried to use her to negotiate between their country and Zanzibar, and just kind of used her as a mediator.
Okay.
So they tried to do that, and also for, I guess it was, for her dowry or something.
Just to explain further to the people, at that time, a lot of Europe were scrambling to try and get as many countries around the world, and Germany and England were scrambling for the big African scramble. So at that time, it helped to have as much connection as possible to the Omani royal family.
That's true.
I'm glad my history is a bit knowledgeable on this one. Okay, somebody asked me to ask this question. Why did she leave the comfort of a princely life to get to live normally in Germany?
I think the answer would be for love.
Okay. Would it be by any chance, and I'm sorry this is a very hard question, an escape from the prison of the palace, because they cannot be seen outside and they cannot be free, and if she has to sit at the window to see the passers-by, that means she doesn't have the freedom that she wants, so therefore that could be one of the reasons?
That could be, because growing up in that time that they weren't allowed outside to associate with common people and everything, so I guess just being able to sit and watch people, it's not a very nice lifestyle if you want to get out. It's
too much of a routine that you'd expect somebody to want to break out from, unless there's some hidden stuff we don't know about that actually could be blessing in her life. But
there could be.
Yeah, these are questions and people have it, and we have to ask to find out what could be the right answer and what could not be. How was Rudolph received with his book when his book was out? Because I heard he also went on tours and lectures and spoke about this thing.
He did. I have papers at home from different lectures he did. I know he did lectures in the UK, in Germany. I know there's some that have been written in Arabic. And as far as I know, that after the books that he wrote, actually the Sultan asked for a copy to come back to Zanzibar.
The Sultan at the time?
Yes.
Do you know the name of the Sultan or just a Sultan?
I believe that was still No, I'm not sure.
Yeah, we wouldn't know the time period.
It would have been after
It could be a
Bargash.
Zanzibar Sultan, so maybe.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then a book was given to them.
Fantastic. What are your legacies that you have from your great grandmother?
Some of the items.
Yeah.
I found it was after my grandmother passed away. Her name was Olga Salma Sayyid Ruete, and we found, an old Zanzibar trunk and some other trunks amongst her items when she passed away in the 1980s.
Okay. She passed away. Oh, yes, Olga.
My grandmother.
Okay, because I think Emily Salma passed away in 1924.
24.
Okay. After
Yes.
World War One, yeah.
Yes.
And you saw some items in your grandmother's belongings.
In my grandmother's.
And tell us a story of what you did with those items.
Well, we found documents. I didn't know at that time any of the background or history of our family.
How old were you?
I was probably, I would say, 18, 19, somewhere in that area. And I found documents from the Palace of Zanzibar and different sultans to different members of my family. And I found knives that, like dinner knives that actually were stamped the Palace Zanzibar that had Sultan's Bargash.
Wow.
It would have his crest on it and his signatures. And I found a lot of items that I didn't know what they were or anything else from different diplomats and foreign people. So I started doing a lot of research and background, and there were some documents that were in Arabic that I didn't know what they were from the palace. So at that point I actually made copies, and I sent them to the Omani embassy in Washington D.C. And if they can transcribe them for me. And I got a phone call from a gentleman from the embassy that said, "I'm your cousin and welcome to the family."
Wow.
And this is how it all started.
It all started with you. Did you happen to get into learning Arabic or Swahili?
No, I didn't. I've tried, but I didn't.
It just didn't register, did it? Okay, we're in the same boat, by the way, just to let you know. What did you do with those items apart from the embassy and all that stuff? Anything left right now? Have you given it to museums? Have you made wealth from it? Are they expensive?
Oh, I'm sure they're priceless because they all belong to different members of the royal family. But no, I've never sold any or any wealth from them. I've made copies for different museums and stuff that have asked, but I still have everything original. I still have at my house. Everything I just have in a trunk. I wish it could be shown to the people of Oman that would like to see things like that. Just recently, I sent a jacket that was Princess Salma's to a museum in Zanzibar. And
Zanzibar?
Yes.
I guess it belongs there. Yeah.
I just gave it a couple days ago to a person that's going to hand-deliver it because I didn't want to mail it. And it's being hand-delivered to Zanzibar at the end of the month, and it's going to be put in a museum there.
So this is a jacket that was from 1890, 1880.
Yes.
And it's still in good order, not a single tear or a thread sticking out, and it's still in a good shape that you can see it and looks princely and royally and everything like that.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's black, gold threads. You can tell it's all handmade from the 1800s. It's a beautiful jacket.
Do you have any pictures to show us?
I have one on my phone.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to show the people right now. Anything on your album that you'd like to talk about?
Yes, I just got an album from one of my friends here in Oman that had some of our family portraits because unfortunately I didn't bring any with me from the United States.
Yeah.
But if you'd like to see, I can go through a few of the photographs. And
so this is the famous photo that everybody knows of the princess?
This is Princess Salma.
Who, by the way, is half Omani, half Circassian. And Circassian lies just under the Caucasus, next to Abkhazia and Georgia in that area.
And she was born in 1844.
Right. 1844, absolutely.
Yes. And the next one, this is actually after she converted to Christianity and changed her name to Emily. This is one of the last photographs that was taken of her in Germany.
Okay. This is, I guess, in the 1920s, 1910s.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then a picture of Heinrich, which is her husband that she met in Zanzibar.
Unfortunately, he passed away 3 years after meeting her.
Very young. Well, he was 5 years older than her.
Yeah.
But he did pass away in Germany from a trolley car accident.
Oh.
He was hit and killed by a trolley car.
Unfortunate. Okay.
And then...
So she had to bring up her kids by herself?
Yes. All the children by herself.
In a foreign country.
In Germany.
she's the solid Arabian princess
Yes,
who lived in
very,
Europe.
very strong, very strong woman.
Yeah,
it
independent,
seems.
absolutely. Yeah.
And then a
She
photograph of,
survived of whose wealth? Heinrich's husband, or did she have any wealth that she brought in from?
I believe she got assistance from the German government.
Okay.
That's the
Very
story
nice
that
of
we
them.
have.
It's very good to know.
Yes,
Yeah.
they were very good. And Rudolf, Sayyid Ruete,
Yeah, great grandfather.
my great-grandfather.
Yeah. And what he's wearing are ceremonious medals from the Zanzibari Al-Sayyid royal family, Al-Busaidi royal family.
Yeah, they were all the medals, the breast medals and everything, which are the Order of the Brilliant Star of Zanzibar.
Okay. How did he receive them, or did he inherit them from his mother?
No, these are all the ones that he's received.
Okay.
And I actually have the documents also from him receiving them from the documents from Zanzibar, from the different psalters.
National Museum of Oman, please take note. You need to contact this gentleman immediately.
Yes, I still have a lot of the documents, and then I have a letter from one of the sultans that actually says which ones he's allowed to wear.
Oh, interesting. You're given one,
So-
but you only can wear certain ones and specific ones.
Right, because I guess since he was born in Germany, he was
Interesting.
only allowed to wear certain medals.
Protocols, which we never know about. Okay.
And then this is my grandmother.
Okay.
This is Olga Salme Sayyid Ruete.
Yeah.
And this photograph was actually taken when she was presented in Buckingham Palace in the UK, because
Okay.
she was born in the UK.
Yeah.
And so she was presented to the Queen, and this is the photograph from then.
Why was she presented to the Queen? Anything to do with Oman?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. Just,
I hope so. Wishful thinking.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But we still have the fan and things,
Oh, you still have that?
passed down. Right, a lot of things from her, because her and I were very close. We're actually born on May 8th.
Okay.
We were both born on May 8th. So
May 8th.
yes,
My Tauran brother. I'm May 7th.
Really?
Yes.
that's great. But so I spent lots of time with her.
Okay.
And then here's a photograph of my mother,
Yeah.
Anne Therese, and myself, and my older brother Jeffrey.
Right.
So I have one older brother. And then
You
we
guys
had
look very Mediterranean.
he looks a lot more Romanian than I do, because he has all the hair.
You know,
So he does. He has all the dark features.
Right.
And
All of you guys, except, well, your mother looks English,
does.
but you guys have that blood that connects you somewhere to Semites.
yeah. Well, it is our blood family.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then
that's the
this is
jacket.
just one photograph where I tried to wear some of the medals that my great grandfather had and things. And this is one of the swords.
How did you feel wearing it?
Like I was part of Oman.
Okay.
It makes you feel the history and just the past.
Yeah, and you will never get rid of that, I presume.
No.
Even give it to a museum. That's
No,
your
I-
property to keep.
Yeah, I have the medals at my house, and these are the same medals that he was wearing in his photograph. And this is one of the swords. I don't know where it came from. It was just one of the swords we have. So I don't know the history of it. But I do also have a kunjar.
A khanjar, yeah?
Khanjar.
Wow, okay.
I have
But
one
before
also.
you go, it seems like you need to take a picture with the whole outfit.
I-
Before you go, it seems like that's
I could.
necessary. Yeah.
Well, supposedly that was one that was given when Rudolph went back to Zanzibar,
Yeah.
and Sultan Bargash gave him that one, and it was brought back. I don't know if
That's
that's
a
true.
unique khanjar?
That's
If so,
that's the history.
you can find out
we were
because they
told.
have a special style on how the khanjar is, so somebody can look at it and assess it and tell you yes, this could be true or no.
Somebody told me that there's a number of rings on it, and it has 7 rings.
Well,
and then
Latif,
something.
who you're staying with, can definitely tell you if you show him the pictures.
I have to
what
get him a
it is
picture.
for sure. Yeah.
Right. And then the last picture is just as our family now. Actually, this is an old picture, but it's my mother, myself, my brother, my sister-in-law, my brother's wife, Sharon, and 2 nephews. This is Justin, who's a very good soccer player in the United States,
All the best to him.
and Adam, his older brother, and my niece, Erica.
Do they know the connection to Oman?
Yes, they do. Justin is very interested in it, and his mother, Sharon. They're very interested in the history and the family.
Oh, very good. I'm glad that people like the history, because if you don't know your past, you have no future, to be honest. And we heard that a lot many
Right,
times.
they'd like to learn a lot more.
Fantastic.
And
yeah. I hope they learn more and they can open up some information that we can know here more about.
I hope so. I would love to
About her.
learn a lot more. And
Princess Salma. Absolutely. So, thank you very much for this meeting. Really appreciated you coming over here. I had a little interesting story about you.
Okay.
I mean, first of all, it's Oman, then Germany, then England, and now you are in America. And in America, you worked as a deputy sheriff.
I did for 18 years.
For 18 years.
Yes.
And during the time of 9/11, you happened to do what exactly?
I did. Right after 9/11, working as a deputy, I was contacted by the embassy in the United States, the Omani embassy, that some of their students were being held just because of their name. They were
Arabic
being
name.
just because of an Arabic name, that they were all being held in one of the police stations in Florida. So the embassy contacted me and asked for my assistance, and I was able to help get the students out of the custody and onto airplanes and back to Oman.
Wow, that makes you an Omani hero. Thank
Wow.
you very much for that. That's much appreciated.
Well, it's just part of my heart, and that's I feel like I'm part of it, and
Speaking
that's
of
why I
part
did
of
it.
How does it feel to come to Oman, and how many times have you been here?
This is my second visit,
Yeah.
and I love it here. The people are wonderful. Everybody's so nice. It would be a wonderful place to live. It's just a very, very nice country.
It's a hidden gem in a jewel, and I hope it lasts for a very, very, very
It is.
long time.
It's beautiful. I love it here.
Thank you. You have an awesome ancestry and a great story to mention over here. We've heard a little bit of snippet of it. This is I'm not sure His Excellency or what to call you, but Mr. Micheal Sayyid Ruete Bauer. I got that correct?
100%. That is correct.
Thank you very much for gracing our studios and giving us the opportunity to share this knowledge of yours that you have of Her Highness Princess Al-Busaidi. Thank you very much for gracing us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you. Appreciate it. My name is Fahmi of Urban Pulse and TFM and Times of Oman. Thank you very much. Good day.